There we go. Holy shit, I was worried for a second there. I was like, why is this not transitioning? Just took a while to pick up the game scene there, I guess. Anyway, here we go, guys. Spawning down here in the bottom left-hand side of the map, the Red Terran player turning heads at IEM Katowice. It is Hero Marine. And his opponent up here in the top right-hand side of the map. One of the strongest Zerg players over the last couple of years of StarCraft. An online champion, but also a guy who's won some big championships. It is Solar. So Solar is going to go for the front hatch. That makes perfect sense. You know, if you go for the back hatchery on this map, getting your queens down this huge space. Look at all this area you've got to cover with creep, and then you got to come down a ramp to secure a third against like Reapers and Hellions early on. It's an absolute nightmare because gas first Hellions will arrive over here pretty much before your Zergling speed finishes. So getting your third down and then keeping it alive is a real pain. Whereas if you get this down immediately, defend it fine, you can start spreading creep. And rather than starting your creep from all the way back here, you basically save about 2 screens. Which means by a few minutes into the game, you can have creep out here and then out here into the middle of the map. So definitely do enjoy this front hatchery here from Solar. It also makes it very easy to take the third base in the back as well. Of course, if he was doing something weird like a 2-base Mutaplay, I could imagine him taking the back base, making a lot more sense. On Hero Marine's side of the map, it is going to be a CC first for Hero Marine. So CC into gas. Wait, this is gas racks? Or is it? I think it's barracks gas. Okay, yeah. So it's CC, barracks, gas. And then he's just going to go very fast factory behind that. So this is a very economic opening here from Hero Marine. No Reaper, no pressure early, no scouting. He's just going to play very blind because most Zergs will play pretty conservatively on this map. Hero Marine, you know, maybe lucking out a little bit here because we actually cast Ryung vs Solar the other day. And on this exact map, Solar went and proxied a hatchery here and did a big Ravager bust. But Ryung, you know, he scouted. He had a Reaper out. He like built tanks and marines straight away. His command center was like already slightly delayed. And, you know, he held on very fine. But I feel like in this scenario, Hero Marine would just straight up lose to that push. Because that push hits with the first 3 Ravagers at about 3 minutes 15, 3 minutes 20. And we can see that at that time, he's going to have a Marine. And 2 more Marines will be almost popping. So, yeah, I think... No, not even that. He'd have 2 Hellions almost popping. So definitely Hero Marine here is once again taking a little bit of a risk. We are seeing him playing a bit greedy. And this is something you have to do in tournaments. You can't just play 100% safe every single game. No one does. But it turns out that, you know, he is getting the slightly better end of these openings. However, in terms of Solar, he has actually pulled off gas this time. So he's getting a much faster third hatchery. Excuse me, guys. Holy shit. I'm just there, like, trying to hold on my sneeze for, like, minutes. But, anyway, so, yeah, Solar's going to be in a much better position. He should be able to keep up with Hero Marine. It's going to be curious, though. Hero Marine going to be going for Hellions and a Liberator immediately. Okay, I haven't actually seen such a fast Liberator in a long time, but this map is the map to do it on. Because you've got high ground here and here. If they don't have an Overlord nearby, you can siege up on the high ground. And they need to bring an Overlord over. So, actually, Solar does not have an Overlord here right now. So he might actually get abused by that. Likewise, there's just a lot of dead space around the back, and yet again, there is another piece of high ground. I think maybe here? If I remember correctly, there's another bit of high ground somewhere above one of these bases. I can't remember exactly where. Anyway, there's a few disgusting areas where you can siege up Liberators on this map. It is really gross. So he's going to be building a second Liberator as well, and an Armory and more Hellions. He might even just do the frontal push. There's a really classic push where you just hit the front with Hellbats, and you siege up Liberators on top of the Queens and drones while the Hellions and Hellbats run on in. So this is really cool. He could do that, or he could do it more as a run-by multi-prong style. Third command center is down behind this for Hero Marine. Back at home, Solar does have Roaches on the way. Spore Crawler behind the main as well. He's very well prepared. Solar... doesn't really have a lot of gas for Ravagers, but even if he just makes 2 or 3 Ravagers, that's going to be really integral for helping hold this on. Hellbats hitting the front now. 8 Hellbats are coming in. Roaches and Queens are here. Liberator sieges up on the back base. So far, just denying mining. No kills. Hellions not getting a lot of damage. They are going to get a Queen! No, they don't get the Queen. And good pullback here. Very smart pullback from the Hellbats. But the Liberator rotates, wasting more mining time, doing a really good job. Solar would love to chase down these Hellbats, but he knows the Zerglings will be mincemeat if he goes for that. This other Liberator actually just cleaning up an Overlord, funnily enough. And this Liberator, oh, actually going to snipe down the Queen. Does finally get a kill and denying more mining time. So keep in mind, he's kept his units alive. Hero Marine, this very easily could be an attack where you overcommit, the Roaches clean up the Hellbats, the Liberator gets cleaned up by Spores and Queens, and then you just get killed by a counterattack. But Hero Marine here has actually kept his units alive, kept finding little bits of damage, and he's been very quick to save this Liberator every single time. This other Liberator he even kept at home, which I really see him as a sign of him respecting the potential for a counterattack. He's even gonna, okay, so he's got 2 more Liberators at home because he was like, you know what, I've got a tank, I've got Liberators, I need to just hang on wherever possible. He's got 2 bunkers as well. I think Solar saw that bunker as well. Yeah, he sees that bunker. So Solar's got to say to himself right now, like, oh, okay, you're like really worried about a counterattack. And considering he built 11 Roaches and 15 Zerglings, I mean, he would have loved to potentially make a whole horde of Ravagers and go. But instead, he's going to realize, nope, okay, we just need to drone up. That's all I can do. Just drone up. Let's play it that way. Let's spread creep. And Hero Marine, I think, is still a little bit behind. I think Solar's got the slight edge here, but I'm not sure how massive it is. I mean, the supply count looks disgusting. Keep in mind, a lot of that is Roaches, though. So while I think Solar is ahead, yeah, I mean, upgrades are still ahead for Hero Marine. This is one of those odd situations where you're looking at it, you're like, I actually don't know who's favored, but definitely upgrades are still slightly ahead for Hero Marine. He failed, he salvaged what could have been a very terrible position, and doing this on top of it, a very nice little maneuver here, just going to waste more mining time. And what is the response to this? Where are those Roaches? You need to make Ravagers and get back here, Hero Marine. He's going to move a Spore Crawler from the main base, but oh no, he moves the Spore from the main, and now he's going to lose even more mining time. Oh man, this triple Liberator. This is the, oh wow, can we call this like the Hero Marine douchebag maneuver? Because it is brutal. And he's even going to get that Queen. Oh my god, will he get out of there? No, he won't get out of there. Those Liberators do move from over that position, and they're just going to siege up once again. He knows he's got to immediately unsiege, but he says, you know what, it's worth taking a little bit of a bruising to waste a little bit more mining time. And Hero Marine making a lot happen with a very small number of units. Solar going for that gold base now. What's the worker count? We've got 72 workers to 58 SCVs. 1-1 is about to finish here for Hero Marine. If he's tight on that 2-2, I still like his chances in this game. The Liberator sieging up on these drone lines. Oh man, are you serious? Get Ravagers, Solar. You need Ravagers. You can't deal with this like this. Let's look at this from Solar's vision, guys. So actually, I don't think there is any high ground spotter, or he's got Overlords everywhere anyway. But he's taking way more damage from this than he should. I feel like his macro would be out of control. Suddenly, Hero Marine's actually up in supply, which is just obscene. That is ridiculous. Like, he is not meant to be up in supply right now. 2-2's already started for Hero Marine. He's got a big Marine army coming across the map. A couple Widow Mines mixed in. Interestingly, he's going Widow Mines, not tanks. So he's assuming it is going to be a Lingbane swap after the initial Roach Ravager opening. So Hero Marine there with a really good read. Not going to those siege tanks accidentally. And he's actually going to commit here. Oh, these Hellbats in the back roasting these Zerglings. Wow, those Hellbat shots were massive. This is actually the perfect little composition for Hero Marine. He's going to keep jumping in. I don't think he can break him here. Good Corrosive Biles to zone, but the Muta's being forced to engage, and Hero Marine focuses down the Mutalisks. Oh my god. That was so brutal. He just killed so many of those. I'm not sure. Damn it. I always forget my hotkeys for, like, to see, like, the units that died. I think 7 Mutalisks just died, guys. Either way, Hero Marine's just going to keep pushing in. There's not quite enough Roaches and Ravagers. Oh, man, this is heartbreaking for Solar. He's just short on units ever so slightly. The Liberator Harasser on Proxima has totally smashed him. He's finally going to defend there, but he's losing Ravagers, he's losing Mutas. These are his important gas units. And what is Hero Marine trading out? He's trading out just cheap, shitty Marines. The odd Marauder here or there as well. And behind this, he's got his 6th, 7th, 8th barracks. He's got his 4th command center on the way. And he's just unrelenting. He's just going to keep pushing. There's no way for Solar to put on counter pressure right now. He just has to focus on the front and trying to defend. Nice Corrosive Bile is going to take out one of those Widow Mines. But he needs more Ravagers. He can't even deal with the Widow Mines effectively right now because he doesn't have enough Ravagers left over. Check out the income, though. The gold base here starting to do a good bit of work. Still ahead for Hero Marine because of those mules dropping. But as the main and the natural mine out, which will be happening in the near future, that's when we're going to see Solar's income really stay up a lot higher while his is falling, especially if he secures this 5th base on the right-hand side. Hive is now on the way. A single Infestor coming out here for Solar. Where's the creep spread, though? That's the big problem right now. He lost all his queens in that earlier push. Where is the creep spread? Finally respreading a tomb here, but no creep in front of that 4th. Nothing to aid this army. And Lingbane is so reliant on that creep spread. Still no Baneling speed on the way as well. Solar with a big blunder. I think he must think he started upgrading it, but he hasn't. And he's, oh man, there's a siege tank in the back as well now. Marines, mines, tanks. Oh, this is so brutal. The slow Banelings not really finding the connection. Solar does have the numbers to hold on this time. So a good defense for him. But Hero Marine, he keeps the Medivacs alive. If he can regroup, he still has a good shot here. He just can't overextend. Oh, Corrosive Bile Fungal takes out 3 of the Medivacs. But Hero Marine here, very ballsy. He's going to keep pushing forward. Remember, these Roaches and Ravagers do not have attack upgrades. And there's still no creep spread out here. There's no real advantage. Whenever Solar wins a fight, he doesn't gain himself that big advantage that he'd love to. And now Hero Marine, it looks like he wants to go for this 4th base. He's actually taking his factory and building a tech lab, which tells me he wants to go for either more siege tanks or potentially for tunneling claws. Zergling's looking for a counterattack angle. Solar's just going to wait until he's distracted before he goes in with these, I think. Just looking for something he can get done. Trying to buy time, trying to look around. Ultra Cavern is on the way behind this. Just staying on 2-2 upgrades is Solar. Solar's Baneling speed finally almost finished. And Hero Marine just going to start zoning out the Zerglings on the left-hand side. Solar doing a nice little burrow there. Does force a scan out for his troubles. At the same time, he's starting to look around the front here. Solar has finally started respreading his creep spread a little bit. He's looking for some damage here or something, but it's a little bit dicey. Oh, the scan goes down. Infestor in the open. Infestor goes down. That's a big pick-off. Remember, there's only 2 Infestors. Make that... okay, so there's 2 Infestors left now. 1 more in production. Kindness Plating is on the way. Ultras, there's +1 range. Solar needs to respread that creep. But if there's one thing I've noticed in Solar's play over the last year of Legacy of the Void is whenever he's got this much pressure on him, he really does struggle with that creep spread. Most Zergs do. Dark's one of the few who keeps it going. And it looks like the Ravager Roachling Bane is going to be coming in. There's still a bit of Fungal, but the Fungal whiffs. It doesn't actually hit anything. The Lings and Banes were already on top of those Marines. It's just a few Ravagers hanging on desperately for dear life right now. More Ravagers morphing. Solar's decided Ravagers, Lings, and Banes are the only way he can defend right now. He doesn't have time to build more Ultralisks. Hero Marine just dancing back and forwards. Liberators sieging up here. He's got a 5th command center on the way. He has his own 4th planetary already established. His 3-3 is almost done. That's what he's waiting for right now. He just wants to push this creep back. He just wants to have a good setup. Siege Tank coming in here now as well, adding a beautiful ranged push here for Hero Marine. And on a map where it's so hard to counterattack, it's so frontally based, those tanks are going to be fantastic. Solar, he's still got the Corrosive Bile zoning out time. He's got a few Zerglings on the left. They want to go counterattack or something, but there's really no angle for him. And Hero Marine is just going to keep dancing forward. He's continuing to build up that army size. There really isn't any hard counter to the bio just yet. The Fungal is nice, but as long as he stays spread, Hero Marine can counter that. There's only a single Ultralisk in the mix, and the 3-3 upgrade advantage is big. The Ultralisk goes down. The bio here just constantly avoiding. Notice Solar's trying to bait that bio into the Fungal Corrosive Bile, but now all of his Fungals are gone. He's out of energy. His last few Banelings here, they are going to finish morphing, but the 4th base is gone. Solar loses that base. He does evacuate the drones, and he lands a nice Fungal Corrosive Bile, but Hero Marine just has too many units. Solar on the back foot here, not quite able to keep up. And it looks like Hero Marine gonna get a surprise upset over Solar. GG. 2-0. Holy shit, man. You know what's really funny actually with this game, right, is should we analyze quickly? I think we should, because this was a pretty sick position for Solar. Like, let's go back to like just after he defends like the Hellbat in the first Liberator. This is actually the power of Liberators, and it's kind of funny because I normally characterize this as something which like happens to me on ladder and like your regular average Joe plebs, where you're like, I held off the push. I'm in a good position. And you know, I mean, he does make a mistake here. This is a pretty big mistake, losing that queen. And like, why didn't you just build a Spore Crawler here? Like, he's almost trying to be too greedy or something. Like, he's like, nah, I'll just bring the queen to deal with it. So he's already a little bit greedy. But then he also builds a very large amount of roaches. Like 11 roaches and 15 Zerglings is pretty hefty. And he's starting to accidentally rally some drones across the map. So you can tell Solar making a few uncharacteristic mistakes. But if we fast forward, the thing which really did it was that triple Liberator harass. Just this, like, Hero Marine was like, well, I'm not getting counterattacked. I guess I try to just siege up a mineral line, see if we can get some damage done. Yeah, why not? Let's try that. And then he's just like, oh, I'm just going to siege up this base. And if there was a Spore Crawler there, it would make a big difference. But at the same time, I think the moment you see 3 Liberators, you've really got to make Ravages and get back up there. And not doing that is kind of crazy, because with this style, you've only got 4 Queens. So if you're not doing that, it's absolutely crazy. And he does the panic reaction, which is to move the Spore Crawler over. And that makes things even worse, I think. I mean, the Queen does end up, you know, he ends up being able to take down this Lib. That Spore Crawler does chase off those, but it's just something where it's like, oh man, he's taking so much damage here. And look at this, and the Liberators don't just throw themselves away either. They just keep coming in over and over and over again. Like, such just great control here and just annoyance from Hero Marine. And then suddenly he's back in the game. He's in a great position, and the creep spread was never that far out. Even though there's a gold base up, you know, things are a little bit awkward. This Liberator here, just being mega greedy, is even going to get 3 more drones. He's still got that Liberator here. Let's see if this Liberator ever did anything else, actually. Oh, he F2'd. Oh, the F2 Liberator. Sad life. But yeah, GG, man. Hero Marine's just so good with his standard play there. Very impressive. I'm super impressed with how he played that one. GG, guys. Alright, guys, thanks for hanging out. I'll be back sending you IC4 replays. I'll be back tomorrow with another daily. I'm probably going to start at build order ones tomorrow based off these IEM replays. A couple of really good TVT builds. There is one very good PVT build, though it's a high level one. And there's a whole bunch of other crazy different plays and things to learn from. So guys, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate the support. Don't forget to hug Watermelon, kick a walrus, and of course, punch cactus to the moon. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye and good night. I gotta stop hitting my microphone. Just like fucking